Okay, Mary, so now that we've gone over all the confidentiality and informed consent, you want to go ahead and get started?
Sure.
All right, well, just tell me a little bit about yourself and what brings you here.
Well, my son is enlisted in the Army, and I've been married to my husband for 20 years, and he was also in the Army, and he wants to enlist and go out to the war and fight after, you know, he goes to the boot camp and everything, and I don't agree with it, and my family and I have just been fighting over it, because I disagree real strongly. I lost my dad in Vietnam when I was like 8, and I had to live with my mom and everybody and help with all the younger siblings.
How old is your son?
He's 18.
Oh, 18, so he's already, did he just
Enlisted.
graduate high school?
Yes.
And he's enlisted in the Army?
Yes.
What do you think? Why do you think he enlisted in the Army?
Well, he wants to save the world, I guess, and be a hero and follow the footsteps of his grandfather and his father, and keep it going in the family. But he's my only child. He's the only son I've raised my whole life, and I don't know if there's a part of me whenever I was 8, and I just didn't have enough counseling, or I just don't know. Losing my dad is really affecting it.
So when you were 8 years old, you lost your father in the Vietnam War?
Yes.
What was that like for you?
Well, I remember mom breaking down and crying whenever the guys came to tell her and everything. And I had to help her with everything, with all the siblings growing up, and I had a rough life. She was sad a lot.
Oh,
Yes.
oh gosh. So do you think that how your mom felt after losing your dad and you losing your dad is now playing into your son going to war?
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. I just disagree, and my husband agrees with them so much. They're always talking about it, and it really gets to me, 'cause I disagree with this so much.
So how are they? Can you communicate with them? How are they? Are they open to what would you like for your son to do? I mean, if you could, can you change the situation?
He's already enlisted. I can't change the situation. He's, an adult now, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just lost. I don't know what to do. Fight with my husband, and it's falling apart.
So how come you're fighting with your husband?
Well, because he agrees with it so much, and he doesn't understand my feelings, and it's just, they go around strutting about it and everything, and I feel sad, and they don't understand.
And are they not compassionate with your
No,
son?
my son is, but not my husband.
No. So it makes it even harder.
Yes.
Do you think that there's any way that you can change the situation so that y'all won't be fighting? Is there anything that you can do?
Well, I don't have a job. I've never worked or anything. I've always been a homemaker, so I'm thinking maybe getting a job or doing something. I don't know.
That's a very good idea. How does your family supportive of that idea?
Oh, yeah. I think I need to get out of the house and do other things.
That's good. But you still have a hard time in letting your baby go, I imagine.
Oh, yes.
What do you think? I think some ways that you can maybe help that issue is to get maybe some volunteer services where you can make care packages for the troops, or there's even support groups for moms whose sons or daughters are in the military. What are some? Do you think your son is cut out for the military? Do you think that's something he will excel in? Something that's good for his life?
Well, yeah, I think they'll do a lot of discipline and all that and do all that, but I don't think he really understands what he's going to get himself into. And I'm just so scared that I'm going to lose him at war like I did my dad. I go through the same trauma.
That's understandable. But do you have a strong son, I imagine?
Oh, yeah. He's good. He's real smart. He makes straight A's. So I would think he'd have a problem getting into college or anything.
So when do you think, now you say basic training starts in
January the 8th.
January, and so he might be enlisting or being sent off to a different country in a year or so?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. Well, what are some things that you can do so that y'all can stop fighting? Because, even though you are concerned, it shouldn't affect your family. I mean, have y'all always fought, or?
No, we've always been a real close-knit type family and done everything together, supported for everything he's ever wanted to do. And we're always taking there to all his games. We're always there for everything. So, I don't know, just right now, we're all not getting along at all. I think maybe we need to work it out and put it all out on the table and see what we can do to maybe they can be more compassionate towards my feelings.
are they open to coming to counseling
Oh,
sessions?
yeah, I think so. I think they would, just to help me, so that way I can not be so sad and thinking about that most of the time.
Okay. Well, on our next session, we can go ahead and bring in your son and your husband if you would like to, and get everything out in the open because you only have 2 months before your son goes to basic training. So what we really want to do is focus on here and now, today. What can you do today? Let's not worry so much about the future or the past because it is hard that you lost your father, and that is always going to be there. And there's always the possibility too that you're going to lose your son. But in life, he could just as easily die in a car accident, or I understand war is much more dangerous. But if we can just focus on today and not fight, but enjoy your time with your son, then I think that is what you really need to get out of counseling.
Okay.
What would you like to get? What are some goals that
I
you
would like to
set?
just be more open with each other and be able to, tell each other how we feel and then be more compassionate towards each other. Maybe I can start supporting them and maybe get into some support groups or something with the other moms. I think
Definitely. And then if you, like you say, if you get a job going, I'm sure that'll be really helpful for
yeah.
you. What are some things that you're interested in that you would like to
Well, I like to bake and stuff like that, so I think maybe taking some classes or, getting a little part-time job somewhere would help.
Yeah, that sounds good. Something that you really enjoy. Alrighty. Well, what are some goals? Is there anything that you would like to accomplish between today and next week's session?
Maybe just us being more open and being more, share our feelings more than my family.
Okay.
Maybe I can try that, to be more open about myself.
So you need to be more open?
Yes.
And then hopefully once you're more open, they'll be more open?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's a very good goal, and we'll go ahead and try to see how that goes over the week. And then go ahead and bring them along with you, and next week we'll all sit down together and hopefully you can feel better about your son's decision and about look at what a hero he is being and what a remarkable young man you have raised. You must have been a really strong and good mom to raise a son that's willing to go out into the world and save people. That's amazing. So I can't wait to meet him
Okay.
and meet your husband and see if he can't be more sensitive, because I know my husband, he's the same way. I guess it's just the differences between men and women, but we'll see what happens next week, and hopefully we can get the arguing and the fighting to stop so you can just enjoy your family and your son while he's here.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
thank you.
Well, thank you, Mary.
We'll
I'm
see
so
you next
glad
week.
that you came here. You have a good day.
You too. Thank
Bye.
you.